So a few years ago, I made this really nice bag to be used as my baby bag, and it was really beautiful and classy. So it's been a little over 3 4 years or thereabouts, and it's really tough trying to do this without kerosene or fuel. I'm meant to use something like fuel or kerosene to just. I'm meant to use something like kerosene or fuel to just dismantle this. Like I'll just use my brush, use kerosene or fuel. I'm going to use kerosene this time around. Of course, fuel is very expensive, so I'm just going to use kerosene soak in between so that will make the driving out much easier for me. So I'll pull this. I can pull this. See, it's very hard to pull, so that's one thing about this bag. It's really durable as far as it's properly made, but the bag has seen two babies. I've used the bag to carry my two babies. I carry a lot of heavy things, pack, clothes, shoes. I carry a lot of heavy things on this bag, so that's why it kind of came undone, like the bag has tried. So this time around I'll just like dismantle it so that I can be able to make something else, something better and more beautiful out of it, using the materials already. See the inside, it's a total mess.
Okay, so I'm going to revamp this bag using leather fabric and a little bit of Ankara material. So I wanted to use my base, and here you can see my base looking nice. So here is a brush. I eventually got kerosene, and then of course we have the gum that we're going to use in attaching the leather to the main to the board. Okay, so now we have a board from the previous bag so we're going to cover the board with this leather material, and we're going to use gum, of course, and the brush. The essence of getting the kerosene is to be able to soak our brush into the kerosene so that it doesn't come undone. So this is still leather. We're going to cover it. I don't like the look actually, so we're going to cover it with the Ankara material so that it gives it a solid background, so it doesn't just start getting weak very easily. Okay, so basically the essence of getting a kerosene for this work is so that we can soak the brush inside the kerosene. Most times after applying your gum to your kerosene, it gets very brittle, tough, and the rest of them, but you need your brush to be soft at all times. So here I am gauging the leather, trying to be sure that okay, it actually matches the side. Then I realized that the length wasn't matching the side, so I'm going to make up with this ugly piece of leather. Yes, it's really ugly, but I'm going to have to cover it with Ankara fabric. This time around I wanted something a little bit more durable, something that could last a lot longer and I don't necessarily need to wash. So after gauging it, I had to find a way to cover the other leather with Ankara by rubbing gum on it and then covering it with Ankara, then stitching the two leather fabrics together and trimming. That's the next thing to do. So if you're new to my channel, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and of course please share so that others too can learn. On this channel I share lots of tutorial videos on fashion business, pattern drafting, sewing, and other DIYs. Okay, so I basically cut out this other leather. I told you I was going to attach gum to it. So after attaching the gum, we use the brush to spread it, and of course always soak your brush in your kerosene when you're done. If not, it gets brittle and hard. Okay, so this is the leather, and we just cut out the size of the leather using the Ankara fabric so that we don't get to waste the Ankara fabric. So place the leather underneath and then place the Ankara fabric on top of it. Then you spread it out with your hand so that you don't have air bubbles and all. So come closer. So on coming closer, you're going to see that we'll attach the leather to the other leather using a sewing machine. Preferably you can use a 20 to 21 inch needle. Then after attaching it, I had to top stitch on both sides because it was quite thick. I needed to top stitch on both sides because I need it to be flat enough for the overlay. After top stitching, I cut off the excess on the both sides before attaching it to the board. So I didn't want this video to be too long, so this is the part one of this video. I'm going to post a subsequent part, so you can actually get a needle, a size 23 needle, from those people that make shoes and leather works in the market. Size 23 needle, most times they have it in DP, they usually don't have it in DB. DB is for industrial sewing machine, straight sewing machine. DP is the one that is used by embroidery machines, all those green machines with zigzag teeth and all of that. Okay, so basically I had to gauge it on the main board to be sure that it was the size that I needed. So I had to cut off some excesses because definitely I don't want too much. So at this point we're going to, after gauging it, we're also going to gauge the one for the inner. So this is that for the one for the outer, so you can see how it looks. It kind of gives the look of what it's going to be like when we're eventually done with this project. I honestly can't wait to show you the finished work when we're done with this. So this is leather. I initially wanted to use this leather for the handle, but then it didn't work out, so I had to use part of the other leather for the handle since this one didn't quite work out and I wanted something so durable. So I had to get the length using the length from the old bag. So here I picked out the old bag. I was very comfortable with the length of the handle from the old bag because it really didn't stress me. I had to pick out the old bag, and I also wanted to cut out the design I fixed on the handle of the old bag. Now note, I am not a professional bag maker. I make my bags as a DIY to cut costs, and well, it's just a kind of interesting thing for me to do. I used to make bags professionally back in the day, but at this point I just do it for fun. So yes, I might not have upgraded to the latest bag making techniques, but my techniques still work very well. So if you just want to learn how to make bags without being too much of an expert, this video is definitely going to help you. I've used this bag for over 5 years because I used it to carry my first daughter, who is about 5 years old, and then my second child, who is about a year and 6 months, by the way. So you can see it's really durable. You don't have to be an expert to do this. So I basically had to cut out the design on the bag handle because I wanted to recreate and revamp this and use it for the new bag. So also I needed to get out the iron. Like I told you, I didn't want to spend too much. I didn't want to start buying everything newly, so I had to cut out the iron on the old bag so that I don't also waste that parts. This is a total revamp process. So if you've not liked this video yet, please feel free to like this video. So I had to use a pattern on the handle to cut out the design that I wanted to use for this other one. So you can see the bulb kind of design. I just cut it out, and the next thing I'll do is to cut it out on the leather fabric. After cutting it out on the leather fabric, I'll use Ankara fabric to cover it up. So you can see the shape. We'll cut it out already on the leather fabric. We'll pour out a little bit of our gum, use the brush to spread it, then cover it, of course, with our Ankara fabric. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to share. My name is Eberechi Igwe Obona, and I'm the author of the books pattern making for the shapely African woman and advanced pattern mastery for the African woman. So you can order any of them on Amazon using the link in the description box. I share a lot of tutorial videos on pattern drafting, sewing, DIYs and fashion business on this channel. Okay, so you can see me covering it with Ankara fabric. I had to cut a little bigger than the shape so that I would have some excesses to fold along the edges. Look, it's pretty much easy to do this. You just have to take it step by step, gradually, and then you'll achieve just what you want to achieve. Okay, so you can see the shape, it's all coming together. So I just have to do 4 of them because I'm going to need 2 for either side. That's 2 on the left, 2 on the other side of the bag, and then 2 on the other side. So after I have to insert the iron into them. So after inserting the iron, we actually need to stitch it down. If you want it to be very durable, it's not just enough to use gum to attach it. You have to stitch it down. You need size 23 needle to be able to do this. So I had to attach gum on the inner one. Remember, I had to pull out two of these straw boards, 2 of these boards from the bag. So this is the inner one. The inner one is usually smaller, so it's usually about ½ inch smaller on the left and on the right. So then on the upper side too is also smaller. So this is what I intend to use as a lining. Note, I was supposed to have attached my zipper to this lining before covering it, but I didn't. It was much later I realized that I didn't attach my zipper. So please, after you're done watching this video, make sure you attach your zipper first before you come back and cover this, except you don't want a zipper in your bag. So after covering it, I just had to attach more gum to it, then fold it on the both sides so that it can actually be neat. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel and share so that others too can learn. I share a lot of tutorial videos on fashion business, pattern drafting and sewing. So we just go ahead to fold. There's really no hard and fast rule about this. Just trim off your excesses, fold it. You're just covering it. It's going to serve as an inner lining, so you just cover it up neatly and then take it from there. So usually after every step, I like to show you what you expect, and here it is. This is what we're expecting. So this is what the inside is going to look like after this particular step. The rough side is going to sit inside the bag. Can you see it? It's just beginning to make sense gradually. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I missed covering this one because I couldn't find the leather at the time, so I had to cover it again. So after covering it, the next thing that we're going to do is to mark the positions for the handle. After marking the positions, I had to do mine with chalk anyway. After marking the positions, we'll place it there and stitch it together. Just as I said, you have to stitch it down. You don't have to stitch it with a strong board. You have to stitch only on the leather, and that is why you've not seen me attach gum to the leather to attach it to the board. You don't have to stitch on the board. So you place it on the leather. You can find the positioning here. Choose your positioning, choose how wide you want it to be. You can measure any of your ready-made bags, just whatever wideness you want. You can just go ahead and choose it. I had to mark the center, then I had to check the wideness apart, and then the depth also. I had to choose the depth that I wanted. I measured 2 inches from the upper part